Okay, welcome to today's topic. Are we really proud to be Jugaadis? While we should be proud, but we are going to dig deeper into this aspect and further, just not about Jugaadis. So, first let us talk about what is Jugaad. And I'm going to use this mind map so that I can talk about the word Jugaad and other aspects. So Jugaad denotes a way of solving problems by adapting to or getting around constraints, making do and improvising with limited resources. So when the resources are limited, how do I maximize utilization of the resource is the real word, the meaning of the word Jugaad. The Jugaad word is a Hindi word and it comes from two aspects cobbled together, joined together, and that's why in the rural India, where in the northern part of the world, of India, not the world, you will find that there are a lot of contraptions made where two machines are joined to make your life easier. And that's the true meaning of the word Jugaad. So in short, what I want to say here is that Jugaad has been invented by North Indians to make life easier. When I was preparing for this particular video, I took a look of lot of videos on the YouTube and I found out one video where an foreigner had asked Indians what is the real meaning of the word Jugaad. And you will be surprised that the original meaning has disappeared and the new meaning that people think that Jugaad is anything between adjustment, setting, doing things at any cost, anyhow. Now this destroys the original meaning of the word Jugaad. In fact, nowadays the meaning is that it's kind of giving people a license to do anything any which way, but just get it done. That's it. Okay? And that's not the true meaning of the word Jugaad. So, in my humble opinion now, I don't have a proper record of it, but in my opinion the word Jugaad came from northern part of India and it simply means maximum utilization of the existing resources. Let's take the example of Rajasthan, where existential resources like water, temperature were very harsh and frugal. So the concept of aage dukaan piche makan, the shop was in front and the house was behind, or the shop was below and the house was on top. Now this is the origin, according to me, of the word Jugaad, because it was using the existing resources and maximizing use by saving time, money, effort in travel. So I hope you're getting the original meaning of the word Jugaad. So while I started this video with the word Jugaad, and we have seen that the original meaning of the word Jugaad is different, and today how people relate to this particular word is absolutely different. So this video is taking this much more deeper than just the word Jugaad. Okay, I want to talk about core values being a periscope of our life. I'm sure everyone here realizes, those who are watching this video realize that our values are very deep rooted within us. And we need a kind of a periscope to watch and to look at life. Okay, and that's why I say that the core values put together is a periscope of our life. And we see life through these values which we have picked up over a period of time. We were not born with values, but as we started experiencing life, we started picking up these different values. Life is colored and filtered through these values that we have. And hence, according to me, it is important for us to see what impact does these values and how do these values impact our life. So if I take core values, there are about 86 core values that I have listed. There might be more, but in my opinion, if anyone wants to know details of the core values, you can message me, get connected with me on my YouTube video or Facebook, and I will send you the 86 values, 86 values that I know of. So let's dig deeper into the value systems. Now, our mind is programmed. Now, I'm talking of programming for millions of years. We are programmed into something which is either right or wrong. Now, there was a reason why the society programmed us that way. But today, after millions of years of programming, for us, things either have to be right, and if it is not right, then it has to be wrong. So let's take the word honesty. Now, over a period of time, I have been studying my own value systems, and I have discovered this, that honesty has a universal meaning. Now, this meaning cannot change whether I am in USA, Europe, Papua New Guinea, Australia or India. It has a universal meaning. But as we grow up, we experience life, and for the same word honesty, we start developing our own meaning for it. Let me give you an example of what I mean by that. Okay. So what I mean by that, I want you to imagine that you and your wife or your spouse had gone to a friend's place for dinner, and they have made this dinner. You tasted the dinner. It was kind of awful. It was not really good up to your taste. You as an adult, would you directly tell your people, those people whom have invited you for dinner, that no, the word it was not good? Now imagine that you had a child, girl or a boy, doesn't matter. Children are very open, they're very honest. The same situation, these people have invited you for dinner, and they ask you, how was the dinner? And your child springs up and says, it was the most awful dinner that he had. Have you noticed that we reprimand children for being honest right from our childhood? Can you see how we start distorting the original meaning of the word honesty, and we start creating our own meaning for the same value? Okay. Now, the more the discord, the more the dissonance in that person. Over a period of time, we start living life as per our meaning of the word, of that value. I want you to imagine what kind of a life will a person lead with a distorted meaning of the value. Would it be simple? Would it be easy? Would it be many people are absolutely unaware that there is a kind of dissonance in that. That's the irony of it. Many people aren't even aware. More is the distortion, more is the discord, more is dissonance. Now this happens with each and every value of ours. So let's look at what I mean by that. How does value system, how do we start developing these? So in my experience, when I started going deeper into my own self, looking at how my values have impacted my life, I find that since our mind operates from one end of a pendulum, let us take the example of honesty itself. Let's imagine there is a person who operates from a very high sense of honesty. Do you think so? My dear friends, this works. High sense of honesty or extreme sense of honesty. I bet some of you have got my point and you are going to say that no, it doesn't work. But some of you might be shocked when I said that honesty, high sense of honesty doesn't work. I bet many of your minds have now asked, or they were shocked to see, is he talking about dishonesty? Is he talking about being dishonest? Remember, I am not suggesting dishonesty. If you have looked at the movie Liar Liar, where he gets a boon that he will only speak the truth, what happens to his life? His life goes berserk. Okay, this doesn't mean that I am suggesting dishonesty, but what the point here is that high honesty is unworkable, right? Now the moment I use the word high honesty is unworkable, I bet you have already jumped into the low honesty part. You have already jumped into the low honesty part, and you have seen and everyone would agree that low honesty either doesn't work. So high honesty doesn't work, low honesty doesn't work. But this is the only way we have been programmed into. Either we are high honest or low honest. That's what happened with the word Jugaad, because we distorted the meaning and it created a dissonance in us. And that's why the title, Are We Really Proud to Be Jugaadis? So coming back to the word honesty and this aspect, I discovered in my experience, in my life, that life is in moderation. Now, what do I really mean moderation? Okay, one second. Let me close the other aspects so that this part becomes very clear. So life is in moderation. But what do I mean by moderation? Moderation is actually a domain of possibility. Let me explain what I mean by domain of possibility. On the right hand side, you can see this yin and yang. Now, the white is the yang and the black is the yin. But have you all noticed that inside of the white there is a black dot and inside of the black there is a white dot? So yin and yang are basically two extremes, the good, the bad, the right, wrong, hot and sour, sweet and sour, hot and cold. In fact, this is not a diagram, this is a whole interpretation of the entire universe. But if you go deeper into this symbol, if I may use, because symbol have energies, if you really look at them as phases of energy, what it is saying, what is this diagram of yin and yang saying? That inside of every yang there is a yin, and inside of every yin there is a yang. That means if I am on the high of my life, if I am at this point of my life, which is my high of life, because it's white, yang, good, okay, there is always a danger of falling down, which is the black dot inside of that white. And it also says that when I'm in the low of my life, there is always a ray of hope. So it's not a diagram, it is a symbol, it is alive. If you start understanding energy and vibration, this is how you will start interpreting this whole thing. Remember, it's an interpretation of the entire universe. So it's not just it's not a diagram, it's not a figure, it's not just a decorative piece. It's got tremendous meaning. So the yin and yang, I'm going to use this domain of right and wrong. Okay. In the domain of right and wrong, which we are programmed by, I said that our mind is programmed into two extremes, the right and the wrong. We are pushed into this domain by virtue of our programming. So let's take an example where right now I and you are having an argument, or there is a conflict, let's say. So there are 4 situations according to me. Either I am right and you are wrong is one. Second is you are right and I am wrong. Third one is I am right, you are right. And the fourth one is I am wrong, you are wrong. Now let's look at search for a solution inside of this domain. I am standing inside this square and I am operating either of the 4 squares and I am operating. Let's try to figure out whether there is a solution inside of this. If I am always right and you are always wrong, no way. If I am always right and you are always wrong, no way can we come to a solution. I bet you will agree with this 100%. Now the second square, which is you are right and I am wrong, is the reverse of what I said. So can I cross those, both of them? No solutions. In I am right, you are wrong, you are right, I am wrong. What about I am right, you are right? Whenever I have been speaking this to many people, whenever I talk, there are a lot of people who say that yes, this seems to be a solution. I am right, you are right. But I want to take it deeper. Now here the conflict has reached much deeper to the value level. In fact, divorce is an outcome of operating in this particular domain, that I am right, the husband says I am right, wife also says I am right, and they stand and hold that position. So divorce is an outcome of this particular domain. If I stand in this and operate, the husband says I am right, wife says I am right, and they hold this position. They are not willing, because now the conflict has reached to the value level, which is very deep within us. People don't easily give up on their values. So divorce, friends, is a socially acceptable compromise. It's not truly a solution if you really understand what I am driving at. Yes, people should not be living if they are going to be a pain for each other, and if it is going to, that relationship is going to create more pain than happiness. I think so it's the best way to depart. But there are a lot of people whom I have met post immediately after their divorce, they have been a mental wreck. So it's not truly a solution, I bet you're getting. And let's look at the last one, where I am wrong, you are wrong. I'm sure at that point of time, both of us know that we are wrong and we are unwilling to admit it. I'm sure you will have experienced this situation in your life. So if both are unwilling to accept that they are wrong, where there is a relation, is there a relationship at that point of time? The relationship is already broken. So if we truly understand this domain of right and wrong, which I call, I don't think so there is a solution inside of that. What is it telling me? It simply means that for me to understand what is moderation, I need to step out of that domain and operate from. Now friends, this is important because I cannot explain this to you. Moderation is purely experiential in nature. How much ever explanation I can give you, it is impossible. But as I said that it's a location to operate from. Okay. If I can operate from moderation, it helps me dissociate and take action. When I am dissociated in a conflict, I can easily handle that conflict. But if I am involved in that conflict and if I am attached to that, if I am connected, I am attached to that, it becomes extremely difficult for me to handle the conflict. I hope you're getting what I mean by dissociation with that situation. And if I can come out, and I said that this is a domain of possibility. That means when I shift out of that particular right and wrong domain, it simply means that right and wrong exist. Wherever there is right, there is something which is wrong. That's what the yin and yang showed us, right? Wherever there is right, there is something wrong, and wherever there is wrong, there is something right. So I think so they are like lovebirds, and I think so if you can embrace this fact that wherever there is right, there is something wrong. So that means they coexist together. They cannot be separated. That's what I mean by standing outside and operating from that domain. If you can step outside, then it will be easy for you to accept that both of them is possible. They can coexist, and they do coexist, whether we like it or we don't like it. Look at any situation in your life. So it's a location to operate from. It helps me dissociate and act. So it's a location to operate from. It helps me to dissociate and then take action, which is much more powerful. If I'm attached to a situation, it pulls my energy down. I am weakened, but if I am committed to resolve the issue, if I am committed to my life, it becomes easy for me to operate or experience that thing. This will also help you come out of self-judgment. Because ultimately, right and wrong, we judge ourselves left, right and center. We are masters, in fact, we are PhDs in judging people. Hence, if we stop judging ourselves, it will be easier for us to judge others. And the moment we stop judging ourselves, we stop judging the whole world. And that opens up this domain of possibility that I am talking about. Transformation happens when the universal meaning of the value and my meaning merge together. There is congruence. There is no distortion. Let me tell you my story of about why I talk about this is life is in moderation and what does it mean to operate from moderation. I have centered my life. I have 12 main value systems for myself, and integrity has been the central value around which I have designed my entire life. For me, integrity plays an important role in my life. And I was introduced to this word in 1994, and ever since I'm still studying because it's a huge word. And in this entire conversation, the basic meaning of the word integrity is be your word. Simple. Whatever you say must happen in life. So if you promise, you deliver your promise. That's the simplest meaning of the word integrity. Taking this meaning, at some point of time in my journey of exploring this word integrity, I got connected to a conversation where integrity and morality are not connected. In fact, there is no connection between integrity and morality. In one particular program, somebody was talking, I picked up that, and for me, it became that integrity and morality are two different things. Okay? And what happened is that even in my other classrooms and all, when I used to talk about the word integrity, I used to give examples of people with integrity, and surprisingly, apart from Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Ratan Tata, and so many other people who are men of integrity in the world, there also used to be a conversation about people like Adolf Hitler, Dawood Ibrahim. And whenever I used to talk about this, there was some kind of dissonance in me, and I used to question myself when I used to complete this conversation in the classroom. I used to question myself whether am I giving the right example, because there was a discord between the true meaning of the word integrity and the real the mind generated perception about integrity. This question used to always come. And I have been a man of meditation for years together. I have meditated for many years of my life. One fine day when I was in my Vipassana third course of my, it dawned upon me, I was not thinking about it, it just dawned upon me that men of integrity are free. They don't have fear in their lives. Men of integrity don't have fear in their lives. And if I take that as the starting point of rediscovering this word integrity, I asked myself, is Dawood Ibrahim a man who can walk around, or Osama bin Laden? Could they walk around? Why did Osama bin Laden was hiding in some kind of place? He wouldn't walk out. He wouldn't have the courage to walk out, simple. So when I discovered this, that really men of integrity are free, they don't have any fear, they are very humble, and they are humility personified. Now, that's when it dawned on me, that is the real meaning of the word integrity and morality go together. They cannot be different. How can it be different? In fact, there were times in my life when I used to take certain actions and I used to justify myself, it's okay, it's not a part of morality. Do you think so? The actions that I took were giving me any kind of fulfillment in my life? But the moment this dawned upon me that integrity and morality are one and the same, and it's not any different, which is the true meaning of the word integrity, there was a huge shift in the way I related to people, to me, myself. First change was with myself. I stopped doing things which were out of integrity in my life. And friends, integrity brings a lot of power in your life. I'm talking of power which you can't even dream in your wildest imaginations. So if you really understand what I'm trying to talk about is that everything in life is in moderation. I want you to take this and apply. Try and discover, take one value of it. You just have to have one value which is a central core value of yours, any of your core values, and pick up whether your meaning, if that value is giving you satisfaction or not, whatever value it may be. So I want to leave you with this question. Why did I talk about this topic? And if you can type in the chat box, what is it that you learned out of this video? It will give me a lot of food for thought. Thank you.